Hello. Hi, everybody. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I just need to get some thumbs up if I'm here. I got some good old vibes in the background. Listening to that Black is King soundtrack on this Wednesday hump day of the week. We're gonna wait for some more people to jump on. We're gonna wait for some more people. I put the title in here, but I don't even see it. So we gonna let me see if I can add the title. Cause I definitely put the title in here. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I think my filter just went away too, because I had a nice little filter on. I like that one. Hello, 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 hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. Just keep on coming in, coming in, coming in. I'm going to give about a minute or two more for everybody to come in before we start. I'm going to get myself situated at the moment as well, too. You know, got to have everything ready for yourself. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone had a great Wednesday, a productive Wednesday. I mean, I think I did too. You know, we just ended work. So, hopefully. I took off my filter again. What's going on? These filters is nice. I like these filters. It's a new thing. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. Let's continue to have people come in. We're going to get started in 1 minute. I got to talk to my Alexa because she's not stopping. Alexa, stop. See? Now, when I tried to press the button, she wasn't working. Give everybody at least 1 more minute before we start. Hola, Tyler Visuals. Don't mind my background noises. My niece came to visit me, so she's very happy. She's trying to be in the video too, and I told her she can't. But come on in. I think my edges came up very nice today. How are you guys?
Hi,
Queen. Hey, girl. How are you? Aren't you?
I'm good.
Immaculate?
Can we just pause and talk about how the sun is just, or the light is just kissing your skin? Like, can we get into it? Can we dissect it? Can I break it down? Like,
can we break it down? Like, is it? I'm like, oh, did I get the right angle? And you know, this is the natural glow. This is the glow without like concealer. I didn't even get the bags. You know, the right.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I just got like, this is just the natural glow from the sun. You know, I vibes on. So you know, that even gave me the move. I felt like I was Beyonce for the moment. You know, I was supposed to do that. How she be doing that? Let's get this day started. Hi, everyone. My name is Anjanae Merrick, aka Angie, and I am a part of Your Queens. And we're coming with our first series episode of Behind the Crown with Miss Black New York 2019, also known as Shannon Nia Alomar, who also plays a role in Your Queens. So again, just introducing, this is Behind the Crown for our first series. So please continue to tune in to our remaining series that are coming out. They're going to go behind all of the individuals behind Your Queen. So we're going to talk to our creative director. We're going to talk to some of our vice presidents, some of our members, and so on and so forth. But today we're starting out with the lovely, lovely, lovely Miss Black New York. So please, Shannon, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Of course. So thank you for that introduction. I feel blessed, honored, and privileged to be the first behind the crown. So as Angie, this magnificent glowing queen, said, my name is Shannon near Alomar. I am a member of your queens, so I embody Queen Nefertiti. So that's mostly what you'll see me as. And I'm also an advisor on the Your Queens board of directors, because if you didn't know, now you know. We are officially a registered nonprofit organization. So that is really, 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 really awesome. And what else do I do? I am a kindergarten and first grade science teacher. I'm a first year teacher, and I actually got to meet some of my kiddos today. So that was really exciting. So I think that energy is still running through my body right now.
You're radiating
Oh, thank you.
all over your face. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait till we dive into these questions to really get going, and also to hear your inspiration words. But as we always do when it comes to your, always start off with a prayer. So I would like you to open us up with some prayer for us to continue this actual series. If you don't mind taking a second to just do a small prayer with us.
Oh God, of course. So I'm just going to ask everyone to quiet your mind, close your eyes if that's how you choose to pray, and just take a deep inhale and exhale, and inhale again and exhale. And Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you for bringing us all together in this space today. We know the digital world can be a little confusing and overwhelming at times. We just thank you so much for allowing us this opportunity to spread joy, love, and light through the vision created in your own light, your queens, and be able to express ourselves and share our creativity in new ways all the time. I just ask that you continue to cover and bless everyone who's on this live today, anyone who may be watching it after the fact, and anyone who may run across it. We just ask that you continue to cover them for all the things that people may be going through outside, things that they may not, that their family members, their friends may not know that they're going through. Lord, we just ask that you continue to cover them, give them strength, blessing, and guidance. And we just ask that you help us to continue to feel whole in the places that we may not be feeling that at this time, and all the COVID and all the confusion and hurt and everything else that's going on right now. Lord, we just ask that you be our peace at all times. And through Jesus' name we say amen.
Amen. Amen. So, in true fashion, I'm going to start you off with an icebreaker, because before we get to the nitty gritty, we got to break the ice. So I got a couple of questions for you. First question is, do you like sweet or salty?
I love sweets. I'm a sweet girl all day. All day, every day.
Or pie?
You said what or pie?
Cake or pie?
Cake or pie? I'm gonna go with cake.
You'll go with cake? Me too. I love cake. So, yeah, when somebody asked me that question, I was like, cake all the
cake. Yeah.
Calls or texts?
Oh, I'm a texter. I love texting. I'll jump on a phone call. I like hearing people's voices, but I love texting. Like, it's just so. I like
communication. See, I like calls. I love to call. I like to get on the phones. I could just hear people's voice, because you get the misinterpretation of how somebody something. But when you hear that tone and that voice, you'd be like, you meant what you said. So now you can't go retract your statement now. So
that's true. That's true.
Winter or summer?
I have to choose summer. I'm a summer baby. Well, let me just break it down, because my best friend is actually on this live. She likes to tell me that I'm not a summer baby because my birthday's June 20th, and sometimes it's the first day of summer and most of the times it's not. But I'm a summer baby. Like, I'm claiming it. We have rewritten the rules. I'm a summer baby.
How I look at it, if it is more than 70 degrees outside, you a summer baby.
I'm a summer baby.
Last binge show. Like, last show you watched.
Oh, last show I binged. All right. What did I binge? I've been binge watching right now, Moesha, so I'm gonna use that.
Oh, that's a classic. You can't.
It hits so different now, though, that I'm older. I'm like,
you probably understand the topics.
I understand so much better now.
And last song I listened to.
Last song I listened to. Ooh, so actually this morning I was working out and I was listening to In Jesus Name. I love that song, and I was jump roping and I was going real hard because In Jesus Name, okay? But that's the last song I like actively listen to today.
And then last question, who'd you invite to a small dinner party? You get up to 5 people.
5 people?
And this is
Um,
everybody in the world.
all right.
If you had your choice, who would you choose?
Lord Jesus, there's so many people I want to invite. Okay, you know I have to invite the queen, Beyonce. You know I gotta talk to her. We gotta have a creative meeting. We gotta have. I need some
Yeah.
gems dropped into my life. Is it living and dead or just like living people?
I'm gonna go with living.
Okay, living. All right, let me think of some other people. So I got one so far. You know what's crazy? It's like these are the questions you think about, but then when it's asked to you, you're like,
You want
um, oh my god, most of the people I'm thinking of are not alive anymore. Jesus, wait, who else would I invite? Jeez Louise. I don't know. I'm sorry.
you don't
I
know?
don't even know.
You don't know. You want to hear mine? So I'm gonna tell you what it was. So I said Michelle and Barack Obama,
Of course.
Tamika Mallory.
Oh my god, of course.
I would invite. I said I was gonna invite B, but then I said to myself, like I really want somebody. I want like B is great, but you know she's on the entertainment side. So I said I was gonna go and I was gonna invite. I wanted Oprah to come, so I Ava DuVernay and my grandma.
Listen, you just took it. I'm sitting here like duh. Like, and I saw someone put Maya Angelou. Yes, I love Maya Angelou, but she's not here with us anymore. So I was just like, I can't invite her. And how are you gonna forget your man? Okay, we all know that.
But he's listen, he's there, but he's just not on my type. He's just not top. Like if I had to choose only 5, listen, you know, like my grandma, that's grandma. Like that's my rock and my soldier. So I mean, you know, you could come, but you could just be a waiting staff or something.
Community service. Listen, we all about it. It's a family picture.
Well, thank you so much for starting out with the icebreaker. Just wanted to get you ready for the questions that we have. So we're gonna jump right into it. So the first question we had is, who is Shannon? What is your background? What's your education? What's your passion? Like, who are you? Where were you born? How were you raised? Give a little insight on that.
Wow. Okay, that is a
Loaded.
loaded question. But I will try to make it succinct. You like that word? Come on now. All right. So, like I said, my name is Shannon. I am a boogie down Bronx girl all day, every day to the fullest. I always said that I wanted to move away from the Bronx, and yet I am still here. So it's okay. I love it here. I now work at a school in the Bronx, so the Bronx is just where I rep. And what else about me? I'm super passionate about, like I said, community service. I'm really passionate about youth engagement, youth involvement. I'm one of those people who wholeheartedly believes that like the youth is our future, and we need to, you know, lay the foundation, lay a pathway for them to be able to do all the things that they want to do in life. So that's something that has always been important to me. And when I was reigning, I'm still technically the reigning Miss Black New York because we don't have a 2020 queen as of yet. But my reign platform focused all about youth who are impacted by the criminal justice system. So it's a topic that is very, very important to me. What else about me? I'm super passionate about creativity. I love creating things. I love editing videos. I love making graphics. Like all of these things excite me. And I always say this, I am just like a kid at heart. I feel like wherever I go, I just bring this like childlike wonder, and I love laughing. I just love like, you know, finding joy in life, you know, like life is not always perfect. We all go through things. I've definitely experienced things in my life that, you know, a lot of people are like, wow, you really made it through that. And I did make it through those things and that made me who I am, but I just choose joy all the time. Like if I can find a silver lining in something, you best believe I'm gonna find it. It's gonna get found. What else about me? Yeah, those are the things. I love writing.
Where did you go to school?
Oh, where did I go to school? So I went to Hofstra University in Long Island. That's where I graduated my undergraduate experience, career, and I am now currently a graduate student at Relay Graduate School of Education. So I'm right now pursuing my master's degree in teaching, and I'm gonna also be pursuing a certification in regular education and education for students with special needs. So yes, I'm super excited about that.
I'm excited for you. Mm. Yes, keep it going on. Keep it going. Give me some more positivity. Can we give Shannon some positivity in some of these hearts right now? Did you just hear that she is getting her certification in childhood for children with special needs and childhood education? Like, can we give some yes? Eki Famous said you better.
I appreciate
it. Continue going. Sorry, you know, I don't.
it. So, one thing about me that I guess I'll talk about is for my entire life, you know, I definitely thought no one could change my mind. It was no other way. I thought I was going to be a journalist. Like that was my focus. That was where I set my heart on. And from a young age too, I used to watch the news and I would say, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. And now I'm transitioning into a new career. So one thing that I love to tell students when I speak to them, and just people in general, it is okay to change your mind about things. It is okay to start with something one day and recognize that it's not for you or it doesn't serve purpose in where you are in life at that time, and to change courses. You know, a lot of times I think, especially with college students, I more so tell this to, they put in your mind that you have to choose something, commit to it, and that's it. Like once you choose this major, once you choose this lifestyle or this life map that you're gonna go on, you just have to stick there. But honestly, it is okay to change your mind. And for me, that's the season I'm in right now. I'm just in a huge transitioning season. And for me, it's like all the things that I'm passionate about that I love just led me to where I am right now. So I've been reflecting a lot on kind of what brought me to where I am right now. And everything literally makes sense. Like everything that needed to happen happened. The struggles, the ups, the downs, the crying. And I see one of my besties slash my soul roar, Whitney's on here, and she knows. She was one of those people, and Arian too, and a few other people. They knew about my tears and all the things that I went through. But I realized that was just God putting me through a stretching season, and he was just making sure that I was receiving what he was telling me and that I was really committed to take the next step. And I had to be uncomfortable. So a lot of times on the other side of uncomfortableness is the blessing. So definitely always try to work through it. And like I said, find the silver lining. There's silver linings in pain too.
Oh my God. Listen, Queen. Listen. Let me tell you how you just encouraged me, and I'm just listening to the story. Like,
come on,
finding a silver lining. And so, in the beginning of our chat, you briefly introduced yourself, and you said that you're a part of Queens, and you embody Queen. So, can you give us a little more on your role in your Queens, and what does Nefertiti mean to you?
Oh my God, absolutely. So as I said, I embody Queen Nefertiti, and I have been with your Queens for quite some time now. I was lovingly introduced to your Queens through one of my other besties who's on here, McQuavon, who was an intern for your Queens and Eki's Famous, and she would always tell me about it. We were roommates in college, and she would always tell me all these magnificent things, and she was like, you should come and like try to intern and try to work with it. And I was like, okay. So I'm always down to like serve somebody somewhere. So that's how I was introduced. And after a while, it went from me being an intern to one day it was like, okay, you've been the understudy for Nefertiti. She's not able to perform today. Are you ready to perform? And I was like, I guess. I don't know. So I was just, it was a true birth by fire moment that I'm so appreciative of. But that's really where my journey as embodying Queen Nefertiti for Your Queens began. And for me, Nefertiti is just, oh my God, like beyond being iconic and gorgeous, because her name literally means the beautiful one has come. Like, can you imagine? Like, your literal name means the beautiful one has come. But it wasn't just her physical beauty. For me, as I learn about her, and with Your Queens, we do a lot of research on the queens and kings that we embody. This is not just, us just playing a character. And that's another point out quick, is that all of the people that we embody in Your Queens, these are real stories. These are not made up fictional characters. These are not people who were just concocted. Like, these are actual historical people that you can go and do your own research on. So as I continue to learn more about Queen Nefertiti, she was such a powerful woman, because in the time that she reigned with her husband, women were not put on that same playing field as their male counterparts. So in addition to her husband always hyping her up and being like, this is my queen, she is amazing, we're making decisions together, we're doing this thing together. In addition to that, she also went and taught women in her community how to be independent women, how to be the rulers and the pharaohs of their own households. And for me, that is incredible, because that's something that in our Your Queens group, we're really big on, is like bringing each other up, being able to teach each other different things so we can elevate our own lives. So that's really who she was. In addition to just being this figure of beauty that people look to, she was a ruler. She was not just a wife who sat by her husband's side. She was making decisions about their political structures, reorienting their religious practices. She was a part of all of these conversations. So for me, being able to embody her is so powerful and enriching. And every time I put on the garb that she wore and like all the embellishments and the more about her, whenever I'm able to embody her, it just really takes me to another level, because to just have that type of power in a time where women were kind of like looked as an object, and to break through that and still walk with confidence and walk with your head held high and your crown high. Hello, she had a whole headpiece going on, and she rocked that thing, and it was heavy, and mine is heavy too. And I walk around, and it just makes you act different. Like, me knowing that I am connected to her story, even in the span of just educating people about her in this very unique way, it just does something for me in my own being. Like, confident, it's made me walk taller, and like, hello, I'm Nefertiti. Like, I'm Shan Neffy. Like, we are all in the building together right now. She is all mixed up in here. And that's something that I really have enjoyed about being a part of Your Queens. And in addition to playing that great role and having that amazing responsibility, because I look at that as a responsibility, because I got to know what I'm talking about when I talk about our queen. I also serve as an advisor on the board of directors, and I'm also the web mistress for Your Queen. So shameless plug, check out www.yourqueens.com. And that's where you get to learn so much about our organization, and just having these different roles in this organization, watching how it has grown over the years, for me, is just truly, truly, truly a privilege to just say that I'm a part of it. And Your Queens is just such a dynamic group, and we all do so many different things. We all are on different pathways of life, but we come together, and when we are together, y'all, I just gotta gush about us real quick, because when we're together, it is nothing but love. Like, I don't want to say I've never, but this group, there is literally just love and light radiating off of all of us. And when we're together, it is just a constant, yes, girl, yes, king, yes, queen movement. Even in our meetings, like, we're handling business, and I'm gonna still throw a yes, queen in there, because you're giving me life and you're just telling me what's on the agenda. I am moved by you. So being a part of Your Queens has really transformed me. It has transformed my life. And it just really makes me so overjoyed to know that in my joy of just being a part of this organization, I'm educating the masses. I'm educating the youth. I'm educating adults. You know, we normally gear ourselves towards children, but the way that adults even like receive us.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we have brought adults to tears because they said, wow, I wish I had this when I was younger. You know, I wish we had these figures to look up to. And even the kids, when they see us, they're like, wow, you're a queen. You look like me. And I'm like, and not only am I a figure, you know, or my character, because they may look at me like a character, but I'm like, this is real. Like, this is your history. This is your lineage that I'm teaching you right now. So you can walk away with that same pride and joy in being, you know, a part of this history.
A black or a brown boy.
Right. So that is my Your Queen spiel. I just get so fired up because, listen.
Oh, every time you're queen, listen. I'm not gonna add on to that. I'm not gonna add, because if I add my spiel, we'll be on here all day. It's about you. And what something that you said that automatically is a perfect segue into our next part. You talked about your confidence level and your ability to go out and do things that you've never done before by being a member of Queens. So with that being said, talk to us about you getting into the pageant world for your first time.
Girl, listen. So, Your Queens, and I would tell Miss Eki, who is the founder, and I'm telling y'all, one day I'm not gonna call her Miss Eki. I'm just gonna call her Eki. But there's just like a respect level that I
have been for years.
I know.
As much as I will hit Shannon on her hand or her leg and say stop her Miss Eki, Shannon has never stopped. So if she stops calling her Miss Eki is a day that I don't even know when that's going to happen, because then she'll catch herself and be like Eki, and then she'll be like, it don't sound
right. Exactly. It don't sound right. But yes, I told her when I first embarked on this journey to pageantry, Your Queens really set a stage for me to do that. And when I looked back in hindsight and reflected on it, I'm like, wow, like Your Queens is really where I started to, you know, hold my head up high, put my shoulders back, like have that feminine elegance and like that queenly elegance that I think was always there. Not that I think, I know it was always there in me, but it wasn't as present. So when I initially went out to try to become a part of the Miss Black USA pageant system, I definitely went into it with the mindset of like, oh, they're not going to choose me. And this is a mindset that I'm breaking myself out of as I get older, because I often do that to myself. But you know what? I'm transparent about it. I'm working on it. I'm growing. I'm human. And I went into it like, they're probably not going to choose me. But pageantry is something that I've always seen because my mom's side of the family is from the South, and pageant culture down South is huge. Like up here, you know about it. You may recognize Miss America, Miss USA, and those type of things. But pageant culture down South, like in small towns, big towns, it's so huge. So it's something I've always seen and I was interested in. I personally just love the dresses and the glamour of it all. And I just thought it was so feminine and elegant. And even as a young girl, I was an extreme girly girl. So I wanted all the dresses. I wanted all the glitter. And that for me was like where I could, you know, do that. But as I went on, I didn't have those opportunities when I was younger. But I saw a YouTuber that I followed, and she was talking about her experience becoming Miss Black Georgia. So she didn't actually make it to become Miss Black Georgia, but she kind of documented her entire experience of representing her city. And I was just so moved by it because a lot of the things that she said were based around community service in terms of the organization, and just they wanted to uplift Black women and put us on a stage, and not just have us on a stage in a derogatory way, but somewhere that, you know, highlighted like, yes, they're physically appealing to look at. There's all shades of brown and all these things, but the accolades that these women hold, it was just so inspiring for me. And to see that all of them were 27 and younger, because you have to be between the ages of 18 and 27 to compete in the Miss division. And just to see all the things that they were doing.
I know more because I'm old. So
No, well, there is a Ms. division too, where it's for 28 and older. So I'm listening.
Off with the Miss first. I'm first, but it seemed like I'm too old now. I done passed the threshold.
Not too old.
No, I'm no longer 20.
Oh Lord, you are not too old because,
No?
like I said, the other division is 28 and older. So any age past 28, you are fine to compete. And yeah, so I was just like, wow, like they're around my age, they're doing all these amazing things, and it's just incredible. And I want in. I think this is amazing. So I applied. I did an interview, and I had other questions asked to me. And New York State, unfortunately, right now doesn't have a preliminary pageant. So what that just basically means is that you don't compete to get the state title at this time here, but they choose a member at large. So that's what I was. I got selected, and I was in shock. I was like, wow, I'm a pageant queen. Wow, this is crazy. So for me, even throughout my reign, like sometimes I just did not come to terms with like, wow, you are Miss Black New York, sis. Like you have a whole title out here. And like people are looking to you with this title. Oh, thank you, Fred. Oh, but yeah, so people were looking at me at this title, and for me, it was like, as I went through my journey, I had a pageant coach, Ocelia, who was phenomenal. She's also a former Miss Black USA herself. But as I went through that journey, I recognized that pageantry, honestly, is so much more than just looking good and being able to walk in heels and all these different things, which is like, I kind of got that before I was into it, but you really just learn like the discipline that you need to have to be a pageant queen. It was me committing to a specific dietary style. It was me committing to working out. I had to practice interview questions. I had to know statistics for my platform, because I couldn't just go out here and say, oh, I'm fighting for this thing and not know what I was talking about. Again, well, research and education is so important. So in addition to having my full-time job, in addition to being in Your Queens and being in a sorority, I'm a proud soror of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and doing all of these different things that I was doing, I was studying for my pageant debut. I had to know how to answer questions on the top of my brain and do it well. I literally told my family and friends, I was like, look, if we're in a conversation, please just stop me and ask me a question. So I would be talking to my mom, and I would be like, what's this? Right. I'm like, what's this recipe for this chicken? And she's like, first you add table salt. What would you do in World Hunger? And I'm like, oh, snap. Like, this is really happening right now. So that is literally how I had to have my mindset. It is like training for a game. I'm assuming to like an athlete. You're really training for this thing. Like, it's not just something that you can just fake through, because when you're faking it, people can tell and people can see through you. So yeah, being a pageant girl was like a whole new experience for me. And it definitely added to my confidence. It added to me being bold in my truth of who I was and what I stood for and what was important to me, because I had to be able to express that to people on the drop of a dime. And of course, there were challenges that came with being a Miss Black USA pageant contestant, because sometimes I would go to events and I would get things like, oh, is there a Miss White USA? Is there a like Miss Latina USA? And some man, I remember he actually said that to me, and I was like, sir, actually, for your blessed information, I am Afro-Latina, so I'm representing all of us right now. So I don't understand what your issue is. And he was a Hispanic man, so I was just kind of like, okay, like, why wouldn't you be proud for me? But it definitely came with its challenges. But all of that just made me feel more proud to be in the position that I was in. And the moments that really, really made it worthwhile for me was seeing little girls see me
Absolutely.
Honestly,
Remember
it
that.
was the same feeling that I get when I embody Queen Nefertiti, but it was different because they weren't seeing me as Queen Nefertiti. They were just seeing Shannon. Like, they were seeing me as a pageant queen, but they were also seeing me without like a costume on. And it was just so transformative for me because one girl in a middle school came up to me after my talk and she literally said to me, I didn't know we got to be pageant girls. Like, I didn't know that we got to compete in things like this. And you look like me. And I was very big on although I keep my hair in protective styles often, but I was very big on my promotional items with me as Miss Black USA having my afro. So even the picture for this flyer is one of my pageant pictures that I took last year, and I was very, very adamant about I need people to see my fro. And even throughout pageant week and even in the competition, my hair was in an afro. And for me, that was important because I wanted younger children who literally looked like me, had hair textures like me, came from where I came from, to recognize that we can be on these stages too. Like, we deserve to be here too, just like anyone else. And we don't have to change our style. We don't need to change how we look, and who we are, you know, to get in these positions. And even when I spoke to students, I would talk in slang. And especially at the Bronx Schools, I was like, listen, I'm right from Soundview, girl, and we here and you here and we here together. Like, because for me, it's like I want to be relatable because that's realistic. And if I'm sitting up there all prim and proper, which is important, it's important to know how to, you know, play into both sides. But I wanted them to know I speak like you and I'm where I am now, you know. And I wanted them to be able to truly see themselves, because sometimes it's not enough to just see that you have the same color as them. It's to see that you have the same kind of background as them, you came from some of the same struggles that they might have come from, because that's true representation. And that's what being in that position taught me, how important representation was. And I think it's another huge factor of why I've transitioned into education, because that representation was missing in a lot of those classrooms that I visit. The teachers did not look like the students, and the students, a majority, yeah, and a majority of the students, yeah, they looked like me. So I'm like, something's not adding up here. So yeah, so being a pageant queen for me was an amazing experience. It was truly an honor to hold that title and to kind of be and kind of have the mindset of knowing that like forever I will always be Miss Black New York. That's like crazy to me sometimes to really conceptualize, but more than just the beauty element of it, it just taught me so much about my power and how impactful I can be as my own person when I really commit my mind to something, and I really stay determined and just commit to it and work through everything and remind myself of what it's really for.
Oh my gosh, Shannon. All these vibes. I'm just missing on like day one of meeting you, three, and that little shy little person, and now I'm looking at you, and all I see is this woman, this radiating woman with positivity and light, and you're radiating off of you, and you're, the way that you embody Miss Black New York, on not only as a learning thing for a learning curve for you, also you took it on as your responsibility to the community of the Bronx, because as you both from the Bronx, we both live in the same in Soundview, and we don't have we don't have representation. We don't have people that we can look up to. We don't have the best of the best in our area. So you were able to provide these students, these young brown boys and girls, uplift for them to be able to come and know that they are in an environment the best of the best. They have the opportunity. So thank you for actually
Oh, thank you.
platform to do so, and our community needed you. We needed you, and ever since then, there has been so many different young Black brown girls who I've seen in our community that have tried to step up to be able to do what you have done. So it's amazing. So
Thank you.
that being said, let's go on to talk about your last 24 hours before you went into your pageant. So as You don't know our audience. This was her first pageant. So her last 24 hours, very, very, very impactful. I'd like her to share those with us.
Woo! All right. So so yes, that is definitely really, really important to know. And I like, before I even go on, like, just thank you for that. Like, you just filled me up so, so, so heavy right now. And you know I can't handle it sometimes, and I'd be like, but thank you. I definitely receive your words, and they will probably turn into tears later tonight when I'm not on camera. But so my last 24 hours, right before the pageant. So like you mentioned, this was my first pageant experience. I had never done a pageant. And also, if you remember, like I said earlier, New York doesn't have a preliminary pageant. So I didn't even get that experience of, you know, transforming into Miss Black New York from like a city or whatever. So I just kind of went straight into like the Lion's Den experience. And for me, it was just kind of like acclimating myself to everything that goes on. So for people who may not know, because most of the time when you see pageants on TV, you're just kind of seeing the tail end of what's been going on for about a week. So when you see the young ladies on stage and they're answering questions and everything else like that, a lot of times people are kind of confused because they're like, well, her answer wasn't better than her answer, blah, 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 blah. But you have to recognize that it is a week long of them kind of judging and categorizing us. And then they kind of like put those things together. And then on pageant night, it's just kind of like, on finals night, I should say, when they choose the finalists, the curve kind of starts over. But in order for us to get to the finalist position, it's a culmination of everything that happened that week. So the 24 hours right before the pageant, if I remember correctly, because I'm kind of mixing up days at this point now, but we definitely had a preliminary that we had to do. So in those nights leading up to the actual finals night, we showed off our fitness wear. So in Miss Black USA, we didn't wear swimsuits. We actually wore fitness outfits. We were showing off our dresses. And we had an interview with judges, which was so terrifying. Like, it was just three people who never met me a day in my life, just asking me some heavy hitter questions, and I'm just trying to answer them to the best of my ability and not be nervous and not talk over myself. And we also had to showcase our talent. So all of these things happened, and I had to kind of do them again for finals night. So I just wanted to kind of like put that out there for people who may not know how pageantry works in that way. And I just remember thinking to myself, because we were practicing our opening dance and everything else right before pageant night. And I just remember thinking, like, whatever happens, happens. Mm-hmm. And even with my pageant coach, when she first initially met me and she asked me what my goal was for the pageant, I was very honest with her. And I was like, if I even make it to the finalists, I'm good. Like, of course, being Miss Black USA was the ultimate goal. That was like what I was reaching for and what I was looking to gain. But I told her, I was like, if I even make it to the finalists, I am great. I will walk off that stage like I took away the crown and the sash and everything else, because it was my first pageant. I was starting from scratch. I didn't have any formal training in anything. So this was really me just kind of going out there and like winging it. Even though I didn't wing it, but like in my mindset, I'm like, I'm just out here just trying to see what's up out here. So, so right before that, I really was just kind of like, okay, whatever happens is gonna happen. I had so many amazing experiences while I've been here. We were in DC for about 5 days, and I was able to meet my pageant sisters in person, who are some of the most phenomenal Black women I've ever encountered in my entire life. Like, some of them were lawyers, some of them were like getting master's degrees, people were talking about getting PhDs, like people had their own businesses, and all these just things that were locked in their minds that hadn't come to fruition yet, that now I'm seeing, because we still of course follow each other and support each other, that I'm seeing play out. And I'm just like, wow, like y'all are so dope. And just to have been in your presence for these days, that was the prize for me. Like, that for me, that was enough. Like, and honestly, right before leading up to the pageant, I was extremely nervous. And the thing that I kept telling myself to calm myself down, like I said, I just said, whatever happens, happens. Like, you made it here. Your goal was to be a representation for the girls that you know, see in our neighborhood. That's really where I wanted to kind of break barriers. And I did that. I had accomplished that before I hit the stage finals night. So for me, my mission was already completed. But if I won, that would have been the icing on the cake. But I was able to accomplish what I really came there for. And to walk away second, like I did end up ranking, so I was the second place winner. So
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? You see how she grazed over that? I was just the second place winner. No, my girl, not only did she make it to the finals, but she placed second in her first, again, numero uno pageant. So let's not just make that just a just statement. Let's put some more power and manifest that, because you did awesome and you placed on your.
thank you.
Some people didn't even place, and it's.
You know what? You're right. You better get me together, okay? That is where I placed. And for me, when that moment happened, I was like in shock. I'm always in shock for things. Like, things just shock me. Like, any little thing shocks me. Like, a bottle could fall off the table right now and I'm shook. So I was just like, whoa. They called my name and I walked up and I like waved and I saw my friends and my family and my friends who I consider my family. And I was just like, wow, like I really did a thing. Like, this is a real thing that I did right now. And walking back into my place, for me, I was like over the moon that I would be able to go home and tell people later, like, I placed in my first ever national pageant. Like, this isn't just, you know, like a state pageant. Like, I was with women, Black women, all from all across the country. People who had all these different backgrounds and all these different cultures within themselves from their states. And we were talking to each other. There was accents flying left and right. And, you know, of course, you never hear your own accent. And people was telling me, yo, that New York accent. I'm like, I have an accent. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, that was what was flowing through me. And I'm like, I did all of that. I made it through this year. All the early nights, not early nights. All right, hold on. All the late nights and the early mornings. Well, you know, sometimes these nights turn to morning. So it was early nights. All of those things that I really sacrificed to be in the position that I was, like, it all came to fruition in that moment. And it was more than I could ever ask for. And even now, like, I still reflect on it sometimes. I look at the pictures, I'm like, wow, you were in a pageant last year. Like, last year to this day. Like, you know, you were to do. So for me, that was just the catalyst that I can do literally anything. Like, I'm like, don't tell me. And I honestly, I've always been this way, but not with as much boldness. Like, I've always been the type of person, like, don't tell me I can't do something, because I'm gonna do it just to prove to you that I could do it. Like, I've just always been that way, but I'm not cocky with it. Like, I just do it. Like, and then I will go do it with like so much ferocity that you never saw coming, just so I can tell you, like, I've done it. Here we are. Like,
That Gemini. That's that. Oh, so you don't like this side? Oh, but I'm gonna show you, because my other side. That's what that side is. So, like, you got the, oh my God, the doll, and then when you try to come for me, oh, I'm gonna show you who I really am, and that's the other side of you. Okay? That's
listen, because I don't ever tell Miss Alomar what she's not gonna do, because I'm gonna do it. I don't care what it is. Don't tell me I can't do it. I'm gonna do it. But yeah, so that's really what that because I'm like, wow, like, you set out to do this thing. You didn't think you could do it. I'm sure there's other people who thought I couldn't do it either. And that's okay. That happens sometimes. But I did it, and I did it with excellence. And even if I didn't place, I still did it with excellence because I know when I left that stage, I put everything I had on that stage. When I did my performance, when I waved my hand, and even that experience on pageant day where I was wearing my fitness outfit and the host didn't say that was Miss Black New York. They told us, if they don't finish your title, do not move. And I definitely stood there for a good 2 minutes until the host recognized, like, oh, I didn't say Miss Black New York. For y'all to not put some respect on my name. And that energy has just inflamed in me. I don't even know the words. Like, if you have a word, drop it in the chat because it's just it's here.
Oh my gosh, Shannon. For those who have not been able to catch any of the footage, you could log on to our Your Queens page and our Instagram at Your Queens Inc. and we have some of our photos. And we have her dynamic, when I tell you dynamic performance of her talent, because people don't know, she tried to put it under wraps that she don't really have a talent, but she's a poet. And her poem that she did on that day, and guess who she embodied? Nefertiti.
I sure did.
She definitely did royalness into that arena. She made sure that she embodied the person that she plays on Your Queens. So if you have not been able to, please go to our page where we will have it. It's on there. You can videos and you can catch it. You can catch the replay our page because she has it there as well too. But we just want you to come and check it out. That much of a performance. So the last question that I have for you before we open it up for any commentary from our audience is, who inspires you and
why? Woo, girl. So, oh my God. I feel like this is always my answer for everything. Like, so many people inspire me. Like, honestly, I have so many people that come to mind when I think of different things in my life. But I'm gonna take it to the basics. And it's not even basic because I'm gonna use my mom. My mom inspires me day in and day out. And the reason why she inspires me is because her like zest for life, in spite of all the things that she's been through, it's just always refreshing. And if anyone, and people who know my mom, she has it like, you think my energy is like on 100, like her energy is 10,000. Okay, she on a different planet when it comes to energy. And that's why when we're together, you may notice that my energy is pulled down because we can't both be on our peak. Everything that I do is, my mom had me as a teenager. And she was 16 years old when she gave birth to me. And so many people told her, you know, that she shouldn't do it, that she shouldn't have me, like I was going to ruin her life and all these things. And my mom was so adamant that no, she's not going to ruin my life. I made her, you know, she's going to be someone great. She's going to be someone amazing. And oh my God, I feel emotional because I just think about those people who said that to her, and I think about often like how that probably made her feel. And now when I'm able to do something, she's the first person I think of next to my grandma. Like, when I get awards, I will tell you openly and honestly, any award that I have ever gotten in my entire life, I give to them. It's not mine. Like, it's really not mine. And it's especially my mom's. Because I always say, if it was not for my mom, like biologically, but if it wasn't for my mom just having that mindset at 16 years old, I wouldn't be here. Like, people would not know me. I would not be able to accomplish the things that I have been able to. And my mom is my number one fan. She is always in my corner. Even when I was younger and I had outlandish dreams, I had a very wild and active imagination as a child. I still do. But even when I had those dreams that like seemed unattainable to other people, at 6, 7, 8 years old, my mom would say, that's great. You know what? I'm glad that you're passionate about that. Now do some research about it. I want you to tell me 5 things that most people don't know about this thing. And if you still feel the same way about it, like, go for it. And most of the times by the time I got to number 3, I was over it. But she laid that foundation for me. And also another thing about my mom that inspires me and just always like makes me so proud to be her daughter is she is very big on feeling feelings. Like anything I've ever felt in life, even as a child, she tells me, feel your feelings, whatever you're feeling, you know, express that. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. And as a child, that was just normal to me because this is just what my mom did. But as I get older and I'm able to see other people growing up, how other people deal with their emotions and things of that nature, I'm like, wow, you really laid a phenomenal foundation for me. Because even when things get hairy in my life, my first initial thought is never to get like I get upset. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm always happy. Like, no, I get upset. But my initial reaction to things is kind of just like, all right, you know, sit in it and try to listen to understand. Like if I'm having a disagreement with someone, it's like always listen to understand. And although I've come to that mindset on my own, also through life experiences, my mom is really who set that foundation when I reflect on it. So she is my greatest inspiration. She, you know, named me, and like she always tells me, my middle name is Nia, and the reason why you will always forever and ever see my middle name on everything that I do, because in Swahili,
Mm, mm.
okay, my connection is going in and out.
Yeah, good. We got you back.
So I don't know what's the last thing you heard, but just know that my mama is my heart. And, you know, when the world has me in a corner, like I know that she'll always be there for me because she's been doing it literally since the day I was formed in her womb. And I carry my middle name with pride because, you know, my middle name means purpose. And that's just where I am. That's just who we are.
Oh my God, this was so beautiful. Oh my God, Shannon, Nia, Alomar, thank you so much for being open and candid with us, telling our audience about your story, your journey through who inspires you, or the things that are most important to you, and giving us how your queens have been able to shape you into the woman you are. I am beyond humble to call you a friend, more than humble to call you. So at the end of the day, I love you and I thank everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our first episode of our Behind the Crown series with Shannon Neal Alomar. Please continue to stay the rest of our kings and queens throughout our organization that we will be interviewing to get their purpose and point of view. Please continue. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Shannon, give a powerful affirmation as we're about to close out,
Oh,
and give us something of that nature.
okay. So in your Queen's culture, I'm gonna try to do this quickly. We always close anything and everything that we do with an affirmation. So wherever you are, whoever you're with, just repeat after me. I am powerful.
I am powerful.
I am majesty.
I am majesty.
I am a queen.
I am a queen.
I am a king.
I am a king.
I am powerful beyond measure.
I am powerful beyond measure.
And my life has purpose.
And my life has purpose.
Ashe.
Thank you, Queen. Please catch us on Instagram on @yourqueensinc.com. Your Queens Inc. Sorry, I always do that. Our website is www.yourqueens.com. My name is Angie. This is Shannon. I play Queen Cleopatra. She plays Queen Nefertiti, and we are part of Your Queen Incorporated. So please continue to follow us, and as we'll embark on our journey. Shannon, thank you again, and I appreciate
Thank you, Queen.
all of you, and blessings to all. See you guys soon.